What's poppin', ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to Lunch with Steel. Today, I think I want to get in my motorcycle bag, man. Talk to y'all a little bit about my interest as far as that goes. Another one of my hobbies, something I really do enjoy, love. I don't know if I'd say I'm extremely passionate about, but I do love it, man. I do love the feel of riding. Now, there's been some things that have kind of turned me off of riding in a lot of ways, but I've been riding motorcycles for about, I want to say, going on 4 or 5 years at this point. I started on a Ninja 500, fabulous bike. One of my, like, if there was a beginner bike that I would recommend to anybody, it is definitely that Ninja Kawasaki 500. Amazing bike, easy to work on, extremely reliable, dependable, and it's one of those, like, it gets you in the door. It's got enough power to feel good and get you used to it. And again, it worked me up to me getting my CBR 600 RR. You know what I mean? That was a wonderful bike. It was a '07. I can't remember what year the 500 was, but anyway, I moved into an '07 600 RR. That was really good. I ended up wrapping that one as well. That was the bike that I actually went down on first, if I'm not mistaken. Nah, I went down on the 500. I went down on the 500 as well. First time I went down on the 500 was, it was in my first year, first 6 months of anything. I was driving down the street and had to get gas, and I missed the first turn for me to turn into the gas station, so I wanted to make the second one, and I was trying to turn onto a side street, made the turn, and I guess I came off the clutch too fast, and wheel slipped up from up underneath me, completely laid the bike down. Right there next to the gas station. It's such an embarrassing feeling. Like, that is worse than you stalling your bike out of the light. It just is. There's no worse feeling than that bike. Because you let the clutch out too quick, that bike getting from underneath you. And then so that was my first time. Another time after that, I ended up completely repainting the bike because somebody ran me off the road. So that was another one of those where it's like late at night, going down one of the side streets that I'm pretty familiar with, and I know people tend to take this one wide. So I was being careful, and this person just was not paying attention at all. They went almost damn near the complete opposite side of the road, and I hadn't worked up my confidence enough to try to straighten it up. I tried to take the angle, ended up laying it down. They tapped me a little bit on my knee. That one hurt, and then, I like to put these out there, like the perspective of like, hey. Now, I'm not saying that everybody's going to lay it down, right? Or you're going to end up running into an issue, but this is a factor of life, right? Especially within your first year. There are going to be things that you can't predict or can't necessarily expect, and things are going to happen, man, especially going through the learning process. That's why, especially early on, if you can, your first bike, hopefully you don't go in it with like, oh, this is like my bike and you care about it a lot and you want to keep it perfect. Ideally, that's not what you want to do. But even when you roll into your second bike, I got to make sure I got frame sliders on my 600 RR. But definitely for your second bike, because you're going to have a little bit more care for that one too, the way that it looks and everything. Maybe you start getting into motorcycle groups and stuff. Make sure you get some form of like a stunt cage around it or something like that. Just so that way you can work on practicing. Practice. Even on my ZX14, I need to get out there and do some more practice because of the stretch. I feel like I can get with the wife on the back, bro. We've hit some turns on there where it's like, I don't know if a stretch bike should be hitting these types of turns like that. But scrape the peg. You scrape the peg or whatever, and don't be scared of it. You know what I mean? But even myself, I need to get out there and get to work into my figure eights, figuring out what I can and can't do. And even with some of what I'm trying to look at right now, as far as, because I was having some issues with my fifth gear, I may have a rounded dog on one of my gears on fifth gear or whatever the case. But I don't know specifically. Taking it to a shop, Lord, shops especially here. in the panhandle of Florida, bro. Like, they just take their time getting their work done. The last shop that I took it to, and I'm gonna give you smoke, D&D, because they looked me dead in my face, know how to handle bikes and whatnot. That's what they say. And they put it on me, telling me that, oh, it's my fault because, oh, the bike is scratched and, oh, the kickstand wasn't. It's like, bro, I brought it all the way here, stood it up in front of you with no issues. You mentioned to me that the kickstand was might need to be, shaved down a little bit just for, security measures or safety measures or whatever. And you know what y'all do? The owner fuck around and drops the fucking bike in front of me. Come on, man. So this is what you can. This is what you're expected to get from these shops, and they want you to do business with you. And then they just look at me like it was my fault. It's like, bro, y'all, this is y'all's profession. I brought my bike to you because I obviously needed some help, and this is how y'all treat it. So it's like, I don't really want to take it to a shop now. Now it's like, damn, I need somebody that I could trust, really look at it. And that's been an issue, I feel like, over the years, bro. Just whether it be your car or whatever kind of work that you get done. Finding somebody that's reliable, that you can trust to get stuff done. Speaking of trust, we were talking about the motorcycle stuff, just talking about a little bit of my experience. Again, I just wanted to kind of come off the cuff, do a little bit of something different for this Lunch with Steel, man. Talk about another hobby of mine that I like to get into. So I can put everything on the table, But I also, part of the reason, I slowed down on riding within the last year or so. And my girls have wanted to start riding more and whatnot, but I slowed down on riding because everybody in the area was just losing their life, bro. It's like every week you were hearing about people getting in an accident at an intersection, or this happened, or somebody speeding, or doing this. And then I was going to group events, and people people don't know how to ride, bro. You talking about people that don't stagger. You talking about people that are speeding by, trying to fit in. You talking about people that are taking turns, and you talking about group rides with 100+ people. People taking turns, going too fast, getting into wrecks. It's like, bro, every time I went to a group event, somebody was getting into an accident. It completely removes the fun out of it, bro. That doesn't make me want to take family. It doesn't make me want to go, because I'm trying to go home at the end of the day. One thing about me as a rider, for anybody that's interested, if you want to continue to check out my content, one thing for me, of course, I always have my helmet on. No, I'm not the greatest about gear and stuff like that. Maybe I get sponsored one day and we get some gear rocking on a daily basis. But, I don't rock the best gear all the time. I live in Florida. It's dumb hot. Humidity is crazy. It's the middle of July right now. You know what I mean? So it's like, but typically, I like to wear my boots, or high top shoes or something of that ilk. Again, I'm not going to sit here and say that I'm the best when it comes to safety precautions and all that. And you should be. You 100% should be. I do a lot of things within comfort, but I also I believe in doing things within reason as well. I can be real with y'all, be like, hey, I ain't the best when it comes to all of this stuff, but still come to y'all and be like, look, but I do still believe in minding yourself when you riding with folks, man. Learn how to ride your machine. You know what I mean? That's one half of the battle. If you going out there putting other people in the harm's way, or you don't know how to learn or how to ride your machine, or you getting into territories that's unfamiliar to you, bro, you're just putting a lot on the line that you ain't got to. So, I kind of slow down going to events and stuff like that. But riding bikes has been a lot of fun, man. I see it like a therapy, I call it wind therapy, getting out there, just getting to it. You don't even have to be doing going crazy speeds, racing in Mexico and nothing like that. You ain't got to do all that. Just getting out there and having a good time, catching that breeze, even in the heat. It feels good, man. There's something about it that just speaks to you. It speaks to me, right? Because I'm, coming from manual cars and everything, I've changed my, if I want speed and whatever, that's why I got a bike. And I want to get to a point where, my car, the whip, that's the stylish. I don't need the power out of that. I got the bike for that. But nonetheless, if you like the bike content, pictures, videos, if I end up putting up some, let me know. And if you want to see more, let me know in the comments, man. Much love. Still out. Peace.